I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not. I just think I'm going to end up with a load of runs for some reason. I'm lacking confidence because I've not done it before. I'm just winging it. I don't even know how to use my gun properly. I'm at Lou's sister's new house, and before she moves in, she needed a little bit of decorating done, so I volunteered. I've already sprayed this ceiling up here. I need to do all of the skirtings so she can get a new flooring in and then actually move in. I've got to do these stairs. I'm going to use a paint that you normally wouldn't use inside. A few of it did suggest it. This Allcoat exterior satin. But first we're putting on this Coverstain, Zinsser Coverstain. I'm going to whack a quick coat on the doors because you can see where the tannins are coming through, where someone's just bodged it before. We're going for Coverstain on this as well because of the knots already there, so we don't want the tannins coming through. So Coverstain should be perfect for that. I have rubbed that down already because it had some kind of varnish on it. I don't know what it was. I've discovered these. These are soft pads. These are the Mirka ones. Sponge. They're really good, so you can get right round the spindles or balustrade or whatever. You can get other soft pads. I've got these ones. These are 240, but these are a bit thicker and not as flexible really. I used 150 initially. I used some tack cloths as well. So these are like sticky little cloths that you wipe down the dust. I discovered these after watching one of Leo's videos from Hand-Eye Craft. I'll put a link to his channel below. I didn't even know they existed before, but they're awesome. I've sanded everything down, including the skirts and everything, and I've gone round with a tack cloth. I spoke to Phil Beckwith, the professional painter and decorator, his channel, link that down below as well. I said, look, I'm doing Coverstain. Can you recommend a top coat on top? Because lots of like satin paints, you need to use their undercoat first before you then put the top coat on. And I was just thought, oh, I don't want to end up putting 3 coats on because this needs to be done quick. I'm just doing it, just punching it out. And he suggested using the Allcoat as well. I have sanded it all down, even though you don't really need to for Allcoat. You can just go over anything apparently. This is new skirting that I had to put in because this is it used to be a cupboard there and they've ripped it out, put in a new wall. So this was bare plaster. I sprayed that. I sprayed the ceiling. Oh, I'll put all this coving in as well. I'm just going to get 1 coat on the doors just to help them along. But the floors can go in. As soon as I'm done tomorrow, I've done all of the skirts, I'll do all the stairs, the ceilings are done. Then Lou's brother can come in and finish off the rest of the woodwork and the walls whenever, but obviously the floor can go down before then, can't it? I'm using my professional Graco Finish Pro HVLP 9.5. Fancy. I've only ever used this once, but I did spray Coverstain with it. So I'm just gonna mix this up. I need to put my full face mask on, I think, for this anyway, because it's oil-based and I'm putting white spirit in. And tomorrow when I do the Allcoat, I can just use a normal mask for that, because it's just particles. Right, let's get mixing. Look, I actually bought a proper mixing stick. I filled that up to 750 mark, and then I'm going to go 100 ml of white spirit. That is the white spirit, isn't it? Yes. Let me mix it up. It takes quite some mixing. So that's 750 of the Coverstain and 100 ml of the white spirit. That's what it looks like at the moment. So it's quite running. I'm going to top that up another 150 ml. So I've got 1 litre. So 150 ml of that. 1 litre, then I'll whack it in the pot. I reckon that consistency is fine. I've got a 5-stage HVLP. I've got a number 4 needle in, which is a 1.8. Well, that's not a litre. So there. Right. I'm just going to have a little bit of play with it. I can't tell you exactly what to do because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to turn that on. That turbo's low. I don't know whether I've moved that. Okay, I've done all of the doors. Bar one side, it still needs sanding. I couldn't be bothered with it. It was a little bit spattery. It kind of come out a little bit too orange peel for my liking, if you know what I mean, but it does smooth out a little bit. I've got 2 runs and it just so happens it was on the same door. And it's where I went back over it. Can you see that drip there? I don't know whether you will or not. You might be able to, it's just there. I missed this like little edge here and then I went back on it and then on the back door, oh Christ, I've got a proper curtain run across here. Do you know why that happened? Because I had the fan the wrong way around, so it was hitting it like this and I was going like that and I was like, hang on, what's happening? And then by the time I got down to here, I then flipped it, but then I went back over this quickly and because of that I've got that curtain there. So the 800mm or so that I could fit in the actual gun, I done 3.5 doors. So I mixed up another litre. That's a 2.5 litre tin. I'm assuming I'll be able to get the stairs done with this, the remaining 2nd litre that I've got. I'm just wondering whether I should be changing it. What fan pattern should I use? Should I use the spot on these spindles? I have no fucking idea. What do I do? Should I watch some videos first? Should I just try and spot it? I don't know. Or do I just go like that quickly with the fan? Oh, you can't go that wrong, can I? Or is it like, I mean, the doors are all right. That first one was the best one. It's because you can't see what you're doing. I'm trying to like overlap it. I'm going to put paper up. I'm going to test the hole, the spot spraying, and then I'm just going to smash this out quickly. It's getting, obviously there's no lights in here at the moment, so I've had to put my thing down there. I'm going to do this first, and then I'll do the stringers afterwards. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. That took me about an hour and a half, roughly. I cleaned up my gun and I thought, I wonder whether I've missed a bit. Look. bloody bastard. Bloody bastard. Yeah, I mean, it's come out all right. I sorted out the spatter. It's a good job I had a practice on the doors. I need to get used to using this more, but I ended up figuring it out. I'll talk about that tomorrow. I need to go because I'm going to be sick. There's too much fumes in there. I'm tired. Right, it's tomorrow. I'm just laughing because I just watched back me gagging when I said I'm tired. And that happens when I've had a mask on for ages as well. But yeah, when I'm tired, I gag for some reason. I mean, this looks all right. I haven't really got, I think I might have one run, possibly. It's just there. You should be able to see that. That's it, really. I mean, it looks okay. It is a bit, I wouldn't say patchy, but it should be okay. I'm procrastinating. I just watched Phil's video when he sprayed a set of stairs. He used bin to start off with, which I've got a tin just there. I need to get that corner that I just missed. I'm going to do that with a paintbrush. I don't know whether that might be easier with bin rather than Coverstain. I need to give it a quick nib down now, as in a D-nib. I'm going to use the Mirka soft pads. These are 240. I didn't get these. Lou's brother did. He said you can use them on the, like your door mouldings, like here. I wasn't sure whether 240 was okay. I know I have to D-nib, but I ended up looking it up, and then one of Keith's videos come up from Rag and Bone Brown, and he said in terms of D-nibbing, 240 is the lowest that you'd want to go. I think he said he prefers 400. I'll put a link in the description for his video. He does a lot of wood finishes and stuff, and that was an old video, so it's good that it's relevant today. So I need to do these skirts. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not. I just think I'm going to end up with a load of runs for some reason. I'm lacking confidence because I've not done it before. I'm just fucking winging it. I don't even know how to use my gun properly. Right, so D-nib, and then I'll tack cloth that off. Then I'm going to do the skirts upstairs first. I'm going to get plenty of this out and put it on the wall so I can figure out exactly what the fuck I'm doing. I need to hit underneath the radiators as well. That's why I've taped them up. Lucky enough, these skirtings, they're just like shitty things. There's dust there. Oh God. What? Right, I'm gonna have to tack that. This was Lou's sister's job. This is her house. She was meant to dust it. She left a load of fucking dust there. Right, should I just spray on top of it and go with it? Not my problem. It hasn't got moulding on, so that's going to make it easier. And you can still see the knots. If I was finishing them doors, I'd probably just spray the knots with this or the bin one, just to seal it in. Can you tell I'm tired? I'm tired. I don't want to do this. That gun is pretty bloody heavy when you got it full and you're trying to like hang up there and spray the thing. Right. I'm gonna de-nib it, tack cloth it, bin that, mix up some paint. What should we go for? I'm gonna have to see what it's like. I don't know what Allcoat consistency is like. Then I'm going to spray the skirts upstairs and the bottom of the frames and stuff, so the flooring can go down. And then I'm going to bring my machine downstairs this time when I do the stairs, because I've got a few marks. You can see that here. That's where the height was knocking it when I was going down. So I need to come up with a better plan. So if I put it down there, then I'll pull the pipe up and then I can spray that. And then as I go down, it's not knocking the wet stuff that I've already done. Does that make sense? It's 12 o'clock. I really just want to get this done today, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to put some music on and then that will help me get going, because I just don't want to do this at the moment. I thought it might be worthwhile just showing you the denibbing process. It's got a slight, like it's almost like it's grainy in a way, like little fine dust grainy bits. If you just get the pad, you literally just need to wipe it. It's like you're dusting. And if you do that, it will take that, see, and then it's really smooth. So you hardly touch it. You just go like that. Nothing. So I'll have to do that in between coats as well. And then I need to tack cloth. And then I'm thinking, I don't want to do that. I was supposed to get 2 coats on today, but once I've sprayed it, and then I've waited a couple of hours, and then I've denibbed and tacked it down again. I don't know whether I want to do another coat. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. But I don't want to come back tomorrow. Something I'm probably going to get asked about, so I might as well talk about it. Overspray. So bearing in mind I've done all of that up there, I've got this down here, but that's like dust. I mean, directly below something, it's going to go there. It's quite concentrated, obviously, where I've done round here. You can see on the stairs, though, in the middle, like I did get it here. I was sticking to this, like when it was like slightly tacky. But most of that is because I was missing these, because you have to get round the edge, and you understand what I mean. So I would say the overspray probably travels up to 1 metre away horizontally, but obviously it will fall down. You know, I was moaning about the dust on the skirts over here. So it was just there, but that was 1 metre away from the door, so it must have been the dust that was just going there. So it is relatively controlled. It is super controlled, but you're still going to end up with a bit of overspray. I'm assuming that most of it's pretty much dry by the time it lands, but that might be slightly different with the oil-based, even though it dries quite quickly. But yeah, cover stuff up. I mean, you can see up here, like this is where I sprayed the door, and I've got that little bit there. And it almost looks like I've got a little speckling just on the top of the window, just up there, because I was pointing that way. But that'll come off with a little scrubbing brush, you know, the Brillo pad type things. I'm not getting paid for this, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just helping. I'm denibbed and I'm tacked, and now I'm going to spray, and I've resigned myself to coming back tomorrow. It's 3 o'clock now. I've just been sitting about, just not really doing anything. I don't really want to do it, to be honest. But do you denib after your final spray? I don't know. Let's see what this paint's like. Phil said a splash of water. Now I don't know how much a splash of water is. No, that's quite thick, that is. Should we go with 10% again? I'm going to try it. Right, I'm putting 100 ml in. I've gone 750 again, and then 100. this feels like it's going to go wrong. Okay, I topped it up a little bit more. So it's 10%. So it's 900 ml of, what is it called? Allcoat, 100 ml of water. It feels really thick, but that looks runny. Is this what, am I just going to have runs everywhere? I don't know. Is it even going to spray? The only thing we can do is just whack it in the gun and test it, I suppose. Right, I've left a gap. I say gap. I haven't filled it right to the top just in case I need to put some more water on. So that's like that. So we're going to be spraying like that because I'm doing the skirts. So I want to cover the skirts. So I need a fan that's maybe about 3 inches, 4 inches wide. So it needs to squeeze that thing in first before the paint comes out. Right, I'm just going to have to try it, and so. Okay, I've turned the air up and the paint a little bit more because I think I need more paint. So I've been practicing. It's getting a bit misty in here, so I better put my thing on. I'm gonna crack this room out first, then I'll do the back room, and then I'll move. Yeah, I'm doing the least important room first, just in case I fuck it up. I'll see you when I'm practiced. After, you know, when you pour the paint out, you just feel like going, oh, should I just slap this on with a brush and a roller or something? But just to put it into context, this room here took me like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. I don't know whether I'm putting the paint on thick enough. I just don't want to risk the runs. Let me show you down here. So you see that bit there? That was like bare wood where I'd sanded it down because this is the new piece of skirting that I had to put in to match into this one. I don't know, like, is it good enough? My initial thoughts at this very moment in time is I might have to put 3 coats on. Right, let's go for a round up. So I done the coat on the stairs. I dialed it down to circle, and that was went down to 0.75, so I didn't have loads of paint coming out, but it was quite a lot of paint. I had to move quickly. It's covered really bloody well. There is my finger mark. Can you make that out? That's when I nearly fell off the ladder. So that can stay there forever. Nah, only joking. Second coat. Yeah, this paint is quite forgiving. I thought that I'd put too much on, but it's flowed out really well. I don't know whether you can see it, and maybe you'll have to take my word for it. I do have one run just there. See that? And there's another one there. And then Lou's brother was here, putting in the lights. And because he is a part-time painter and decorator, you see like around this bit here, there was a gap there before. And I said, do you reckon I should caulk that? And he said, well, yeah, should we do it together? And then so he started caulking, I started caulking. You know when you just get carried away? And then he started doing more caulking, and I was just like, oh my God, what are you doing now? So you see like this little gap here, because the paint won't fill it up. I thought it might, but it's just there. And fair enough, I mean, doing these bits, it looked better. But then because he started doing all of this, then he was doing all of that, and I was like, oh my God. So I ended up doing this bit down here. But the paint wasn't dry yet, so I've rubbed it off and I rubbed it off. But I've got a little bit more confident now in what I'm actually doing. So that's only had one coat. It covers really well if you go over a primer, i.e. Coverstain, probably bin as well. On the skirts, I've done a second coat. Now granted, it isn't dry yet, but I can still see that where the bare wood was underneath. Now I think I bottled it on the first coat. I had it on 3 for the paint. The second coat I'd just done, I dialed it up to 5 to let more paint out, because I was confident it wasn't going to run as long as I didn't go over it twice. So it's got a better coverage now, but it's going to need a third coat. Now, if I wouldn't have bottled it on my first coat, I might have got away with 2. Something tells me that that might not be the case, not even just looking in here. Because I've read somewhere there was a review saying that the Allcoat in white, it doesn't cover that well. I think that's if you're going over something that you haven't primed. As long as you prime it, it comes out pucker like the stairs. So I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'll do another coat on the stairs and another coat on the skirts. I didn't denib them because it is, I mean, it's a nice coat. Maybe I'll do the stairs. On the skirts, I didn't denib them. It was a little bit powdery on top where I'd done more spraying. So I just tack clothed it quickly and then whacked another one on. I'm not sure whether what am I gonna do tomorrow? I think I'll just denib the handrails because everywhere else is fine. I think that's probably just where the overspray just settles on it. Last day. I always felt like I get here and I sit here for like half hour just trying to psych myself up. I just don't want to start. The skirts downstairs, they kind of look okay, but I will put another coat on. So skirts are getting 3 coats. Stairs are only getting 2 coats. I say it is 3 technically with the Coverstain, but you know what I mean. Do this. See that? That's just like the dust that's in the air. So I need to tack that off. I don't necessarily need to denib it, I only need to denib down that bottom rail here, just on this bit as well. That needs denibbing, it's a bit gritty and it's not necessarily powder on top. So I think I'm going to denib that. It's just the tops. Everywhere else looks fine. That's just got the powder on as well. Last coat's done. It's done. I'll give you a little wet close-up look. Like that's awesome, isn't it? Absolutely bloody awesome. There's a couple of little bits there. Yeah, so I did tack down the steps, but when I come over here, it blew some stuff this way. So I've got a couple of bits up here, but that's good enough. I'm not looking for a repeat customer or anything. I'm not doing this again. Oh, and this time I left it a while before I sprayed this. I'd done the skirts first and I just covered up a metre there and just that over there. I don't know whether you can tell, it's a bit misty in here. So it's just like dust particles like blowing about. I could have put a little bit more paint on there, I reckon. I'm just going to leave it though. It does look nice. Where's my phone? Yeah. You see that? I just never expected that I could ever get a finish like this. Never in a million years. Look at that. Skirts, they're pretty much covered, apart from where it's the bare wood. That could almost do with another coat, but I'm not going to bother. I'm not doing it. You won't notice it once the carpet's in and everything. I think it's, so if you've got bare wood, even though this is all coat and you can go straight over it, prime it. Do that. If you're going over old paintwork, you're going to need to do 3 coats if you've got a white. And then, oh mate, should I just buzz over it with the last paint that I've got in the thing? Oh, it's all downstairs. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave. Should I? I've got a little bit more paint. Maybe I'll just quickly. Right, anyway. All coat, I rate it. I do rate it. I quite enjoyed spraying. It is hard bloody work. It's quite strenuous on the arm, like just holding it up here, especially when you've got a litre in it. You could do with a remote pot. Oh, paint wise, so this is 5 litres. This was roughly like 70 quid. I don't think it's that bad. When you think about it, I've done all the skirts in this room. I've done the skirts in that bigger room there. I've done the landing, all of the skirts. I've done in there, that small room. So they've all had 3 coats. Obviously I've done the stairs and the stringers, they've had 2 coats. And I've done all of these skirts around here. 3 coats down here as well. So I've done, I think it's almost about 4 litres, so I've got paint left. So 70 quid to paint all of your stairs and do all your skirts. It's not a lot of money, is it? So I know people like balk at like, oh, it's so expensive. The different types of paint, even like Scuff X and that. Considering how far it goes, it's not a lot of money for like the whole house, is it? Oh, and as a bonus, if you've got surface mounted pipework, the all coat goes on the pipework as well. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.